Hello, everyone. I'm Mason Beam with the Wise News Network, and in case you've missed it, there are protests going on at police stations around Gaston County, North Carolina. These protesters are demanding that the charges against Carter and Bethany Phillips be dropped. We're here to tell you the situation and explain what we were able to find. A confrontation with officers came up between the Gaston County Police Department and the organization Proof Gospel Ministries on Saturday, January 11th. While not members of the Proof Gospel Ministries, the Phillips were helping Pastor Jesse Boyd spread the gospel by crosswalking. Recently returning from a cross-country walk, the group found themselves on Baxter Road outside of Cherville, North Carolina. While Jesse and his son completed this portion of the walk, he had his son-in-law and daughter waiting at the end of the gravel section of Baxter Road to meet up with Jesse. Upon reaching the end of the road, Jesse began recording the traffic stop. At around 3:54 p.m., an anonymous caller reached the Cherville Police Department reporting a suspicious vehicle. Cherville then handed off the response to the Gaston County Police Office due to the area being outside of the Cherville ETJ. The confrontation ended up taking upwards of an hour and ended with multiple police cars from Gaston County and Cherville branches on the scene. During this, a heated debate led to a Cherville officer agreeing that he was a tyrant in frustration, and we will show you that part of the clip now.
This is ridiculous.
Well, it is ridiculous. It is ridiculous that you guys got 3 vehicles out here on some peaceful Christians who are not breaking any laws. Unbelievable.
You're not being very Christian right now.
Oh, you don't define me as Christian. Christianity is not absolute obedience to the state and tyranny.
You said it, not me.
It's not absolute obedience to the state. You're live on Facebook right now.
You're live too.
Good. You guys ought to be ashamed of yourself. No reasonable, articulable suspicion for a crime.
Of going to sleep at night.
Of course you don't, because you're a tyrant. You're a tyrant. Yeah,
That's
you just admitted it, didn't you? Unbelievable.
I'm agreeing with you. That's your statement. That's your belief.
No, you admitted it. This is unbelievable.
During this encounter, Carter Phillips and his wife, who are the occupants of the vehicle, were asked to show ID to Officer Hildebrand. They refused, and when contacting WNN, Carter said that they asked the officer what law or statute he was violating, citing that the officer became irate at this line of questioning. The statute that would allow them to do so is the NC General Statute 20-29, which requires anyone operating a motor vehicle to surrender their license or identify when asked in North Carolina. Failure to do so will result in a Class 2 misdemeanor or resist, delay, obstruct charges. This is eventually what Carter and his wife were charged with. Carter also claims that during the police's investigation, they did not make it clear to him that the reason they had the right to ID him was due to the fact that he was in a motor vehicle. As we understood it in our contact with Carter, he does not believe he was in operation of the motor vehicle, therefore making the statute not apply. However, upon looking into the legal definition of operation of a motor vehicle, we found that this is not a term that has devoted legal definition. This means it is on a case-by-case basis, with some cases having as little as using the car's AC constitute operation, and other cases finding the operation specifically does not occur if a car is parked legally on a public median with the engine off, which means in this case, whether or not the vehicle was in operation at the time will likely be left up to lawyers should it come to a court case. However, the officers claimed they were going to have the group trespassed, which presents another issue.
Here we are walking with the cross across America. These Gaston County officers came up here. We're completely legally parked here off the highway, and they've pulled them out of the car without any reasonable, articulable suspicion of a crime. Look at them being frisked there. Josiah, step back. We just walked up with our cross. The officer told us we were legally parked. He got a phone call, and this is the basis whereby they are searching and frisking both Bethany and Carter without any reasonable, articulable suspicion of a crime.
The group believed they were legally on a public road. When looking into the matter, we found the results to be initially inconclusive and had to reach out to the NCDOT to clarify. First, let's see what the average person is looking at. When coming to the intersection Jesse Boyd did, you see a sign for Baxter Road being marked as going both ways at the intersection. If you were using Google, you'd see a dirt section of this road being marked as a continuation of Baxter Road or State Road 1649. Digging a little deeper, you'd find that the Gaston County GIS also lists that this is a publicly owned state road, but if you visit the NCDOT website and download the Gaston County document, you'll see this gravel section missing from the document. So we reached out to the DOT and heard back rather quickly that this was a confusing case and that would need to be looked into. After the DOT representative looked into it, it was found that this section of road was abandoned by the state in 2004, meaning it is private and attached to the adjoined property belonging to EA Farms. So while the road may appear to be public to most, if not all travelers, it is in fact private property. Now this brings us back to the protests going on around the county. These protests are being held peacefully outside of different Gaston County offices, including the Cherville Police Station, the Gaston County Police Department, and the Gaston County Sheriff's Office and Courthouse. The protesters want Travis Page, the Gaston County District Attorney, to dismiss the charges, but this is yet to be seen if it's something being considered. The court hearing for this, according to Travis Page, is March 11th, 2025. Stay tuned for updates on this case as it continues, and tell us in the comments below which party you think is in the right. You can find more stories on this and even read more about this story on wisenewsnetwork.com. Until next time, everyone, this has been Mason Beam with the Wise News Network.